Greetings, fellow cooks, and I want to welcome you to Dr. Flavor. My name is Marcelino Alberni. Today we're going to do something quite nice. It's one of those things that take you back many years, because my father and I always enjoyed rare meat. That's how he started cooking it. That's how he shared it with me, and I developed a taste for it. And going back to when I was a resident in medicine, one day the residents and I decided to go across the street to a place called Kibby's, and we had some happy hour, obviously after work, after our jobs were done. And we had this thing that was really very, very tasty. It's called steak tartare. Now, how this was presented, it was a sirloin meat that was ground fresh, and it was topped with, or it was put on crackers and onions. And I'll tell you, that was fantastic. With a beer, delicious. Unfortunately, years later came the problem with the E. coli and salmonella deaths that we had across the country from contamination from the packers, the meat packers. And obviously steak tartare fell out of favor. So I'm going to show you a recipe that you can use that is very safe, and I enjoy myself. The ingredients are as follows. I have red onions sliced thin. I have jalapeños, and I have sweet peppers. I also have garlic salt. I have some salt and pepper. As you can see, the star of the show is the ribeye. It's a 1-inch thick cut, and as you can see on the right, I have trimmed a lot of the fat around it, and trimmed very much the exterior of the meat. And what I plan to do is I'm going to sear it on both sides, and then I'm going to start cutting it up, and I'm going to mix it. Okay, so here we go. So as you can see, we have the pan heating up, and I want it to get super hot. We have the meat prepared here. We have cracked pepper and salt on both sides. And as you can see, the sides of the meat I cut off completely so that I can get rid of all the contamination on the outside. Both sides of the meat are going to be seared so that it's going to be clean. And since this has not been chopped like cube steak, anything like that, where the meat is pierced for tenderizing, that introduces the bacteria into the meat. This is not touched. Okay, so it's going to be a good lean piece of meat with no infection on the outside. The meat packers are also making sure that the meat is proper, because what they do is they look at the meat. They look for abscesses. They look for problems, cysts and abscesses in the liver and in the kidneys. If that's not the case, then they use that. So meat packers are very careful. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop the meat in there. There we go. I cleaned the cutting board very well, and as you can see, the meat is searing. Not going to be cooked completely. It's going to be just cooked on the exterior. Probably a good minute or so would be nice on a very nice hot flame. There we go. So we're going to do the same on both sides, and then we're going to take it out of the heat. Okay, so here we go. We have the peppers, we have the onions, we have the jalapeños in there. I put a little bit of garlic salt in there. I cut up the ribeye. As you can see, I got out some of the gristle and some of the fat in between. And at this point, the only thing we need to do is just put a little bit of olive oil. A little bit of olive oil. And we're going to have a little bit of balsamic, because balsamic itself, it's going to also, because very acidic, it's also going to help clean up the meat too. There we go. So we're going to mix this up. And here we have it, thoroughly mixed, and it looks absolutely delicious. Let's see if that proves to be true. Okay, the moment of truth. As you see, we have the steak cut up with the onions, with the peppers on a cracker. So let's see how this tastes. Wow. Wow. I think this is something that my father would have been proud of. And naturally, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this with a nice North Carolina beer. So, fellow cooks, I'd like you to try this. It's a very simple dish. It's a nice little appetizer for any gathering that you might have. Goes well with beer and a cigar. So please share this video, like, and subscribe if you haven't so far. This is Marcelino Barnett, your Dr. Flavor, signing off.